Hi, it's Sandra Wiley. I wanted to share a personal video in my newsletter this morning about my crazy and bizarre relationship affair with my psychologist that spanned the years of 2012 through 2016. It also involved two other prominent psychologists, one from Harvard and one from Yale. So there were three psychologists involved in all. It's really bizarre. I was going to one psychologist for over 10 years while seeing two other psychologists, and I had an affair with one of them. Then that psychologist I was seeing for over 10 years did couples therapy with me and the one I had an affair with. And another psychologist got involved, the one from Yale, and he also did individual therapy and couples therapy with the one I had an affair with. It's just so bizarre. I can't even wrap my own head around it, let alone I guess that you or anyone else could either. Um, Very surreal experience. But this is my personal story, and it caused me and my family a lot of heartache and tragedy. So I'm going to read an email today because this book is Emails of an Unethical Psychologist, and they're all copy and pasted, emails that he sent me and some emails that, I sent him, and this is over the course of between 2012 and 2016. So this one I think probably was around the year 2013 before we started having a sexual affair, which that started in 2014. So let me begin reading. Sandra, glad that the 11 o'clock on Tuesday and the 11:30 on Friday are both good for you. I'll now assume that they are our regular times going forward, commencing this week. I agree, given the exigencies of the type of work that we are setting upon, that it is good that we will have some flexibility with the time allotment for our sessions. And you're right, it likely will be intense in many ways and will require much from each of us, especially regarding the challenge to stay clearly and to remain steadfastly in self when our more vulnerable and reactive parts are getting triggered, especially each in relation to the other. But I truly believe that if we maintain our faith and our commitment to this work and to one another, that it will be transformative for both of us in whatever ways it can potentially be for each of us. And you're right as well about each of us having been sinned against and wounded earlier in our lives. Again, each in our own ways. And while I so appreciate your respect for and admiration of me, I do not feel that your estimation of me or you is as of yet beyond the wounds and burdens that you or your vulnerable parts carry, and especially toward yourself. I feel that you deeply underestimate how talented, how beautiful, how strong, and how good you are as a person, even and especially when you are being the most fierce. Your sense of self can still be very burdened, and understandably so, by how bound up and identified you have been by reactive and protective parts that you have been desperate to manage and submerge very vulnerable exiles that carry more fear and pain than either of us can yet fully appreciate or even fathom. And it would be these protective and exiles that I believe we can unburden and heal if we remain true to the work ahead and to each other. And again, Sandra, I cannot tell you how privileged I feel to be able to accompany you on this journey, and how much being able to do so has already contributed to and enriched my life. Hopefully, someday I will find a way to express it to you and find a way to really embrace it. Until then, I abide with great anticipation, appreciation, affection, and love for what we are about to undertake and for how we will grow together. And he's talking about IFS, interfamily systems, is a type of therapy that he was learning about, and starting to get involved with. I don't know if there's any of you IFS therapists out there, because this is going to LinkedIn. I'm going to put this all over YouTube and Facebook and all over my social platforms. So there you have it. That's an email, and that just tells you like how wrapped up he was, that we were together, like as if it was a mutual endeavor, like mutually working on our wounded parts. Wherein therapy is only supposed to be for the patient. The therapist isn't supposed to be getting his parts and his wounded self involved. And then from there, the mutual therapy, it turned into one-sided, where I was a role reversal, and I became his therapist, and he was more or less the patient. But that's just a short clip for today's newsletter. And I hope you have a great day. And I hope you do buy the book. It's really, really interesting. It's even interesting for me in 2022 to look back and actually read it all. And I just go like, oh my God, it blows my mind. And this really happened to me. And his words now, he's deceased. He died a year later in 2017. That's another whole story. And it's in my books too, Love Outside the Boundaries, how he died and how I came about that. Anyway, please, it's on Amazon. Get the book. It's really fascinating, especially for professional people, especially people who are interested in IFS and transference. And there's a whole bunch of psychological, if you're interested, stuff right here. It's all true. It's my story, 100% real. Have a great day.